Hello everyone! This time quite an unusual German watch from the middle of the 70s, made in Junghans factory. This is the first non-Swiss watch on my channel. This watch has the German-made Junghans movement. It is manual winding and has the date quickset feature. The condition of this watch is not excellent, it stops after several hours, but according to the specification, the power reserve is 41 hours. The watch glass and the watch case have many scratches. I will try to solve all issues which this watch developed over almost 50 years. I will start by removing movement from the watch case. The movement looks quite nice for the first glance. I'm releasing power stored in the mainspring, and I can take the stem with the crown out. This watch doesn't have a ring which holds the movement inside the watch case, so I guess I need to remove the glass first. In some vintage Omega models also the glass needs to be removed to remove the movement. So movement is out. Right now there is a time for hands. I'm using Rodico Clinic Body to safely remove the watch hands. I have noticed an interesting thing about the dial. It's made from a plastic. Wow, it's not good. One dial fat is missing. I need to think about how to reconstruct it. Yeah, but in general, dial looks not so bad. I'm extracting the dial foot from the movement. I'm removing gently the balance wheel with the balance bridge. I'm unmounting the train wheel bridge. In this movement, there is no separated barrel bridge. This is a sweep second wheel. The second hand is attached to this wheel. And this is the escape wheel. And another surprise in this movement is the lack of a screw head. So I will need to find the right one. Maybe 2 words about the company. Right now the company covers several areas, mainly connected with military technology production. And Junghans is still a watch and clock manufacturer. Right now I'm removing the small bridge, and this is the pallet fork. The ratchet wheel is connected directly to the mainspring and the barrel. I'm removing the clutch wheel, and this has to be the date corrector. I'm going to disassemble the date setting movement. The date dial and the date movement cover are made of plastic. Also some parts like date jumpers are made of plastic. The condition of these parts is not bad, taking time under consideration. I'm taking an hour and minute wheel out. This is the date driving wheel. This is one of the date jumpers and the date jumper spring. I am removing the cannon pinion. Sometimes tweezers are a better solution. And the cannon pinion is free right now. This is setting lever spring. It is responsible for making sound during crown push and pull action. Now I'm fighting with the yoke. This is yoke spring. Now I'm grouping similar parts. I use small metal baskets. It takes some time, to group it, but it is important during the cleaning process. I use bigger baskets which I made from stainless steel mesh to collect all together. There are many approaches how to clean watch parts right. I do it as a part of my hobby at home, so it is not entirely by the book. Don't worry, balance wheel will be cleaned later. I use a water-based solution for ultrasonic cleaner, and in this case I guess that I can use also a heating feature. It won't harm this type of watch movement. I didn't use very high temperatures, so I can touch the baskets. In the second part of the cleaning process, I will use an isopropanol solution. So it's alcohol based with no water, and right now I can also add the balance wheel. Now I take the parts out of the basket and dry them on a paper towel. I'm going to repair the dial flat. I use epoxy glue. I hope this is enough, especially since the watch movement is held by the watch case and glass, and not by the dial. Now I need to wait several hours, but I have other things to do during this time. The balance wheel moves really lovely after the cleaning, so I hope it will work really well. I need to solve the problem with the broken screw. After cleaning, it goes quite easily. I use a very sharp blade to unscrew it. Now I can start searching for the right screw. I am mounting the center wheel and the center wheel cock. I use oiler to put some oil. I have tried to use several screws, but finally I decided to swap a screw from the main plate because the head of the screw has to hide inside the center wheel cock. Right now I'm assembling the time and date setting mechanism. This is the setting lever screw. I am checking if the setting lever works okay. And right now I need to put some oil, and I'm going to install the Canon pinion. There was a clear click, so it should be okay. This is the minute wheel. It is connected to the Canon pinion and to the setting wheel. I'm oiling the setting wheel. I am removing an excess oil. And this is the hour wheel. The intermediate date wheel mesh with the hour wheel and also with the date driving wheel. I am installing and oiling the yoke. I use high quality synthetic grease between the yoke and the setting lever spring and the setting lever. I'm installing the yoke spring. Guess right now it is on the right place. I am installing the setting lever spring. And I put some more grease. Later I need to check because maybe before it was enough. And now date jumper and date dial. The date jumper spring will be installed later. So right now I'm installing the uh, date setting mechanism cover. I use special technical holes to install the data jumper springs. With these holes it is quite easy. I put some grease on the clutch wheel. I'm installing the clutch wheel. I'm using the stem, which helps a lot in this process. I'm oiling the date corrector pivots and main spring barrels Diehl. I put the mainspring in the right place. The mainspring is in surprisingly good condition for its age. We will see how this translates into the accuracy of the watch. Installing the gear train wheels. And now the sweep second wheel is in the right place. This watch movement is considered quite difficult to service, according to the internet info. But in my opinion, it is not more difficult compared to different from the 70s. But there was one obstacle. I didn't manage to find the right service manual. So if you know the right one, you can put a comment that I should have been searching for the service manual with more attention. And now we have the watch movement again, almost in one piece. The test sound is promising. It moves without noticeable friction. Okay, now I see that the pallet fork is in the right place. I can carefully tighten the screw. And right now, quick check. I know I can't rush now to check if the movement works, but waiting is harder for me than the installation of this balance wheel. The balance wheel works and it's pretty nice. Just beautiful. So I can wind up the movement, I guess, right now. But I still need to oil the balance wheel jewels because the balance wheel pivots are exposed to heavy loads. I have to open the shock protection system spring to oil the jewels. This special spring is flexible enough to absorb shock coming from the environment. Right now I can close the shock protection system. The balance wheel is installed and oiled. I can move on to the next task. It will be an installation of the watch dial. The dial fit look okay after the repair. I am checking if the date switches. Now I need to install the hour hand, minute hand and second hand. To mount watch hands, there is a special tool with a hole in the center which helps a lot. I also use watchmaker eyeglass to check if the watch hands don't touch the dial or each other. I need to protect the movement from the dust because I'm starting the watch case and glass polishing. I repeat the polishing process several times to achieve better results. I use sandpaper to remove scratches after this step. I use simple toothpaste to polish the surface. This method works only with vintage acrylic watch crystals. The mineral glass and sapphire require a more sophisticated approach. There are many scratches which created patterns on the watch case. Maybe in the past somebody wanted to remove the watch crystal without proper tools. These scratches are not deep, so I will try to deal with them only by polishing them. The watch case is made from steel, which is why I can safely do this. I use a special paste for metal polishing. I use a small hand polishing tool which runs on rechargeable batteries. In the watchmaker workshop there will be something much bigger for this kind of job, but this small tool is enough when you do this at home from time to time only. I am removing the remains of the polishing paste, and in a moment I will be able to assemble the watch. The watch case looks much better, but I think that I would achieve even better results if I sanded it a bit and not just polish it. I make sure there is no dust on the watch dial. The watch is almost 50 years old, so not everything can be safely cleaned anymore, like these marks on the watch dial. The watch crystal is in the right place. I am checking once again if the watch hands are installed correctly. Sometimes unscrewing the screw too much means that you have to disassemble the watch movement again. Now I check if the crown and stem work properly, and I will be able to tighten the screw. I use the watch demagnetizer to ensure that movement accuracy will not suffer because of accidental magnetization. The accuracy and bit error is okay considering the age of the watch. I checked it several times, also after 24 hours, and the results are quite constant despite the time. The watch looks better after polishing the case and crystal, but it was not my goal to make it perfect. I have fixed also issues with the movement and the dial. This vintage watch should work nicely right now. I hope this video about vintage Junghans was worth your time. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to put a comment. You can click subscribe anytime you want. And see you next time.